Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Focus on Your Biz. We've got my pal Vito is here with us today. We don't normally do webinars at this time of day, but me and Vito wanted to hang out. We haven't seen each other in a while. And so, you know how people like Vito and I, though, we can't just hang out in private. We got to hang out live in front of all of you. Vito has some cool stuff.
One stone, you know?
Exactly. For those of you who don't know, Vito created a program called Atarim, or however you want to say it. Atarim. Say it. Vito says it the best, of course.
Atarim.
Atarim. I can't even do it. It sounds goofy when I say it like that. But this used to be called WP Feedback, in case you aren't familiar with it. So he has a good bit of experience on running projects. Because he had a system that worked is why he created this program. Right, Vito? Yes. Exactly. So today he came on and he said, how about we come on and help people in your group learn a couple tips, just not an overwhelming thing. Let's just learn a couple tips on one of the biggest pain points of any project, which is getting content from your clients. I see this coming up again and again and again in all the groups. I know this is something I've heard from many of you individually. So, Vito, where should we begin?
So, first of all, there's a few aspects to gathering content. And I think that the first starting point is really understanding if there is some kind of a process in place, because that is usually the first hurdle when people are trying to gather content from their clients. They don't know themselves. The freelancers or the agencies themselves don't know what they're really asking for from the client, and how does that really look like. Even though, we do that for every different project, many times it's just like, can you give me the content? And we sum it up with this single sentence. So I think the first thing is really understanding where in the process this should happen. Then we can really talk about the mindset of the client. Why do they do it? Or even worse, why don't they do it? Why do they procrastinate? What's happening there? And finally, we're going to see kind of a few solutions that will help us do it quickly. And really, if we're talking about gathering content, and you mentioned this is something that comes up a lot in Facebook groups or in general in our industry. This is by far the biggest stopper of projects. We constantly survey the community through the different channels that we have at Atarim, and this is by far the biggest problem. More than that, 82% of people say that it's hard to gather content. So, this is basically the hardest thing in their business, the top one issue. So let's try and solve it together.
I love it. I really like that idea of let's figure out what's the problem? Because what people want to do is they want to say I've been trying to get content and they haven't done it. So now what? But that's almost too late. Like what you're saying, we need to have a process in place before we even start down this road so that we don't end up frustrating our clients and therefore frustrating ourselves.
Exactly. So we need to understand where is the place for the content. What is what is our role in this step of the project? What is the client's role in that step of the project? So first I'm going to start with the two main approaches that happen around content gathering. The first one is content first, right? You heard this term before. Mm-hmm. I don't do anything until I get the content. You pay me the deposit, and then I don't lift my finger until you give me all the content. Only then we're going to talk about some deadlines, right?
Sounds like you don't like that method.
I'll tell you why I don't like this method, because it just sounds crazy. If you compare this to every other service around the world, or any other product around the world, it's just illogical to do this. Yep. The reason why people do this is because we've been burned so many times before that we're just kind of, we're just pushing all of the responsibility over to the other side and saying, I'm not going to do anything because I know that you're going to mess this up. I wanted to say a curse word, but I stopped messing in the last second. I can mess this up.
This is a family group, Vito.
Yeah. It's kind of, at least here it's rather, it's
kidding.
already 7 p.m. So it's already
Oh.
profanity.
Well, yeah. And honestly, like, depending on who you're working with, a lot, like, the client cannot visualize how we visualize things. They don't understand. Like, when you say, like, give me the content for your services page, like, they don't understand what blocks of text they need, what they need to provide to us. So it really is setting it up for failure right from the beginning. Yeah.
Right from the beginning. And I would even say that because this is happening so early in the project, and really let's examine the workflow there. You're selling yourself and you're pitching how amazing this project is going to be and why you are the right person for the job. And you get it, right? You get the client to sign the proposal, to send over an initial deposit. You do the discovery session. You make sure that you know exactly what needs to be built. Everyone is super excited. The excitement is at its peak at this point. After the discovery session, that's where everyone, the energy is at its peak, and then it just goes downhill from there. And really, it's not even like a slow slope. It's just like a huge drop, because the first thing after that is like, all right, great. Now I know who we're building the project with. We did the discovery. Who's your target audience? What are your business goals? What do you want to achieve with this platform? And what kind of websites do you like that we can take inspiration from? Who are your competitors? All of those, questions that you ask on the discovery stage. And straight after that, great. Now I know everything that I need. Now you go and do the work and send me the content. And in most cases, they're like, okay, that. To them, it makes sense. They at this point they trust you still, because you've built up yourself. You went through a sales process, right? You kind of you try to build up yourself as the authority. You managed to do it, or else they wouldn't close. So they trust you, and then they fall into this trap themselves, exactly for the reason you said, Stephanie. They don't know any better. In most cases, they don't know what's going to happen next. Now. So then what? So
you know what it made me think of, Vito? I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like if you hired somebody to paint your house, and they came over and you discussed like what you had in mind and how you wanted to look and everything, and then they take your deposit, and then they're like, "Okay, now you have to go get the ladder and go buy all the paint, figure out what brand of paint and how many gallons we need and all that, and you go buy all the supplies. Only when you bring me all of that will I paint your house for you.
Only then I will schedule you in. Really, that's what you say. And this is really exactly like that. I painted my house. Never. I always get a professional to paint my house. Right? So, like, what the hell do I know about the different brands, the different types of paint that there is out there?
That's why we hire an expert, and they've hired an expert. And then now they have it being thrown back in their lap. So it's a totally frustrating thing. John Mara is watching us on YouTube Live, and he says, I don't see how content before you start works. He knows exactly where we're headed next. He says, until you have a wireframe representation of the site, it's difficult for the client, especially if it's their first time on the rodeo. Which
100%. So
you never hear about the first rodeo. Everybody always says this ain't my first rodeo, but sometimes it's your first rodeo.
A lot of times, especially when you're working with, as you're starting off in this business, it kind of feels like that. When I started building websites, you start with people that never had websites. And then you kind of realizing I want to work only with people that it's not their first rodeo, right?
Yeah.
So you start targeting people that already have a website. So they've kind of went through the pain point with another guy, so I can do a better job because he messed it up already. And so, like, especially when you're starting off, a lot of people, this is their first websites that you need to account for. So it looks like John has been through one of our presentations before.
Oh, maybe he has.
No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But he really hit the nail on the head, which is the second approach. So the one approach is content first, which a lot of people are preaching for, but really is insane. It really, like, it just makes no sense in no parameter in the real world. The other approach is exactly what John is saying, which is you get started, you show the other side that you can deliver. You don't just take the money and run, or take the money and wait, which is what we're doing. You take the money and you show results. You start by creating some kind of an initial deliverable. What I like to do, or what we're preaching for, is sending out a sitemap. It's a quick deliverable that you can send literally within the day of the build or the day after the build, and already the energy is kept up. You're not getting into this slope. After that, you go into the wireframing, like John was mentioning here. And let me bring this. I can't bring this comment up.
Which one?
Yeah, the John comment, because this is perfect.
This one?
Yes, perfect. So it's like he's creating titles for us. John, please keep going with the titles for the.
Please keep going.
So why do we want to create a wireframe? Why does this make sense? You mentioned that the client doesn't know what's going on. They would need to deliver the services page, but what does that mean, really? So by creating a wireframe, we're giving them a visual representation of what is expected of them. They can see what we can envision. And that is the real difference there, because, and we fall into this trap a lot of times as web designers and website builders, that when we talk to the client, we already know what they need, right? Like, Stephanie, you give me 2 minutes to talk to you about your business, about Focus WP. I'm going to know exactly how the website should look like, right? And I'm sure it would be the same for you. You talk to me 2 minutes, it's like, okay, they're selling a SaaS, so they probably need a pricing page and the features page, and they probably need to create some mock-ups of the screens, right? Other people might not know that. Most people shouldn't know that. It's not their job to know. Like, I don't know which type of color. I just know that I want the background purple. That's all I know, right?
You are a big purple fan.
I am.
I have noticed that about you.
So that's by creating those wireframes, we're giving them a visual representation that will allow them to literally see what we're doing. And another good kind of parable around this is, I came from the music world, and when you wanna talk about a song, you play the song. You can't try and describe "We Will Rock You" by Queen, and, like without making any sounds, right? Let's just try to describe it in words. But then when it comes to website, it's a super visual product that we're delivering, super visual service that we're delivering. But then again, what we're trying to do is we're describing the website in words instead of showing them where we're going with this. So in music, they have like, you do a rough mix, or you just grab an acoustic guitar and you play it quickly so that you don't have the full production. It's not a complete product, but you still can convey the idea over as some kind of a generalized structure, right? A wireframe. So wireframe, and that's the right approach to gathering the content that will allow people to really understand what is going on.
What do you use to create a wireframe, Vito?
So I've gone through all of the different
all of them,
really.
Yeah.
So I used to use Ninja Mock, and which was like just like a drag and drop kind of boxes tool. Then we used to do it in Photoshop. Then we moved over to really doing it in PowerPoint. Back then, it made even more sense to do it in PowerPoint. But every time you do it like that, what happens is that you're creating the process from scratch. You go in front of a blank page, and then you create it from scratch. Then within the agency, we adopted the idea of creating wireframing templates. Within my agency, we had wireframing templates for our theme back then. And the concept is that instead of creating it from scratch, you just delete what you don't need. That makes it so much faster. The workflow is like super fast. You have one template that has everything that you need on it, different hero sections, different headers, different left to right images, right? The 3 icons that you have, the benefits, the 3 icons every website has, or 4 icons. Row, grids, all of those grids for blog posts, products, services, whatever. There's always a grid element somewhere. Logos, that could be also a grid. and then below you usually have some kind of a call to action, contact us. So what I like to think about is when you build a web page, it really is a conversation conveyed inside a browser. And people, even web designers, we kind of do it on autopilot a lot of times. We don't think like where and why we're creating the layout like this, but it makes sense from a conversational point of view. That if I'm going to ask you, Stephanie, about your business, you're going to tell me, I run a company that helps web designers and developers grow through outsourcing, right? That is your USP. That's what comes at the top of the website. And if someone is interested, so is that something that is interesting to you? Yes, great. Here is the button. Give me a call, or let's talk about this. Or if not, you're going to ask some more information. And as you scroll down through the homepage, you're going to find that it really is like a conversation, that someone is just investigating more and more into the product. And if you're looking at heat maps, it really works like that. People scroll if they're interested. If they're not, they're going to say, okay, cool, thank you, and going to leave.
See you later. Yeah,
exactly. Which
is walk away from you. So I like this concept of it's the process that is important, and that there are multiple tools to do it. So obviously your tool does this too, right? And you even give away those layouts, don't you? I think I have those as well. Because you could do a wireframe just in your builder of choice, like in Divi or Elementor. You could just build them a wireframe using those templates, which is I love that idea, because then all you're doing is swapping out the content when it comes time to do it, rather than building something here and then rebuilding something over there.
Exactly. And really the way that I structured my building process in my agency is that we never do anything in vain. We don't do something to just drop it or delete it and then redo it for the next step. Everything that we do is the building block for the next step on top of it. So the sitemap is actually creating the pages, and you create like a sitemap, a visual sitemap that is being delivered to the client. But those blocks that they see are actually the containers of the pages that we're going to be building next, where we drop in the template for the wireframe, delete what we don't need. We get the structure of the pages, gather the content on top of it, and then we just paint it up, right? We paint up the template that started as just the wireframe, and now we're applying fonts, we're applying the button colors, we're applying the background images, and all of those kind of cool stuff to really make it look nice. So it's all just a step on top of a step, which allows the clients to be involved in the project without giving them information overload, because when they look at a complete website, they really don't see that much. But doing this process, they are able to go through the rabbit hole with you. So they kind of consume the learning process. They have a natural learning curve that is built into the process by doing it like that. And so with Atarim, what we did is we decided to take this approach to all of our users, and we created those wireframes that we're giving away for free for Beaver Builder, Divi, Elementor, Oxygen, Gutenberg, all of those major page builders.
Yeah. John's still with us. He says that he has tried things like Balsamic. That's another wireframing tool. Adobe XD is another one. Figma. These are all the sort of popular ones. Yeah. And he said it got to the point he could just do it faster, just knocking up the modules in good old Goot, Divi, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And those tools are kind of becoming a bit obsolete now, because the page builders have become so efficient that it doesn't make any sense to create this in balsamic. I haven't heard of the balsamic. It sounds like a salad,
like dressing. A salad dressing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of but you do it there, and then you need to export it, send it to the client. They still see it as an image. They don't see it in the browser, so they still don't get the full picture of what is being described. And then you need to do it in the browser anyway. So why bother doing it twice? Yeah.
Right.
John, I'm telling you, John has been to my presentation before.
John knows. Maybe he just knows what's going on, Vito.
Very good.
Very good. Very good. Hey, so now we've got a wireframe so that we can guide our clients through this process of getting us their content. And then what? So now that we've established, like, okay, so for this page, we need a block of content here, here, and here. We need some testimonials here. So they can sort of start to see it. I mean, they're never going to really visualize it, but they have some constraints. They can understand like what they need to do. So now what?
So first of all, you hit the nail on the head, because the human brain works within bounds, right? So if you're creating boundaries for our brain, we would want to stay within those boundaries. And as you're creating a section that shows them that here you have a one-liner that is going to describe the USP of your business, then they're going to do their best to create this as a one-liner instead of spewing out 5 paragraphs that you're meant to use on the hero section somewhere, right? Also, with those 3 icons that we're talking about, you have usually like a 3-4 word element and then 1 sentence below, right? You have icon, short sentence, or title, and short sentence, right? And that is repeated. But when you give it to the client in a Word document or as a spreadsheet, as a lot of people do, then there is like complete freedom. There is nothing to restrict them and to guide them visually, and to basically tell their brain that there is a way of doing it. So if there is no specific way, everything goes, right? And that is actually, this sentence is true about every system. If there is no system, everything goes, and you'll see that in your business everywhere. There is no system. Clients are creating their own, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's much more difficult to face a full blank piece of paper or a blank Word document or something than it is to say, like, answer this question. What do you sell, to whom, and how do they get it? Okay, there's your UVP. Okay, next question is what's your little this block? Like, ask them in chunks rather than just wide open, like, here's where you put your about content. Like, they don't know what to put, and they don't understand. The other thing is, like, we're going in, I mean, this is what I try and encourage people to do too. Don't be a code monkey. Be a consultant. Be an advocate for your clients, because if you do that, that's when you have customer loyalty. That's when you get to really charge the big bucks. That's when your clients succeed, and then they know that you help them do it. So they refer, like, they just, everything good comes from that. So if you really get in there and help them to do their content right, then that pays dividends to everybody.
I agree 100%. It keeps your positioning and it keeps your authority where you want it to be, because really the build is just the beginning of the relationship. It's not the goal. The goal is to maintain a customer for years to come. So I can actually show you how we're doing this if you want me to share my screen for a second on the wireframe. Let me have a look here. Okay, awesome.
We need some hold music or
right, the Jeopardy music. There we go. Cool. So this is the wireframe, and you can see this is already like after I cleaned up everything that I don't need, and we're left with this template that has the
purple, of course.
Purple, of course. But really, what is important when doing this is to make sure that you don't have that it's designed to have no design, because you don't want them to start saying. And I also made a couple of iterations with our own templates, because some clients saw the base template and said, "Oh, this looks awesome. I kind of like with the direction you're going with this." Like, no, this is not where we're going. So we kind of simplified it, and we made sure that it doesn't fit anything, but it still looks pleasant, and it emphasizes what we're talking about, which is the content here and what we need to do. So we have the top section, and in this case, we decided to have like one big mock-up on top, but there's all kinds of different hero sections. The beloved 3 icons, left, right, left, right. Every website has left, right, right? Testimonial, grid. That could be blog posts, that could be services, it could be products, and of course the contact form at the end, or a call to action at the end. There's like 5 sections of each with what we're giving as the example. Now, the process is super simple. You just go in, click the plus icon, and ask the client to give you the text for this one. We help web shops deal with their overflow work, right?
Mm-hmm. We do, as a matter of fact.
And now you can use the sentences themselves to describe what they need, or you can have just a quick conversation to point them out. But I really like the fact that we can just make sure that they have the clarity on the item itself. And as well, we're going to scroll back up, and we can also ask for stuff. So can you please send me the Focus WP logo? So this could be like from two different sides. And now as they're doing this, all that you need to do after is just go through and input the text, but it makes it gamifies the experience a lot, because you get everything that you need. So for example, send me this image, maybe your team. Let's say that this is going to be the about section, or shortened about section. Maybe your team, maybe your office, maybe you.
Maybe you.
Picture, right? Maybe your picture. And as they upload this, they can just click that, and yeah. Oh, look at this.
Hey, there I am.
Yeah.
That was good. That wasn't even planned, you guys. Vito just always keeps a picture of me handy.
Not only that, I have the on the top. I should have also the logo as well somewhere.
You probably did.
But yeah, that's basically the game. Super simple, and really a good process is supposed to be simple. It doesn't need to be complex, because then people get lost. People try to cheat the system. So if you keep it nice and clean, then everyone can comply.
So how do you space it out or time it out, Vito? How do you do
that's a
like
great
yeah, okay.
So gathering content, how long do we usually give people to gather to give us the content? The average answer is between 2 to 4 weeks, right? So you go to the client and tell them, listen, we're starting the project now. You have 2 to 4 weeks to deliver the content, and I'm gonna get started after with the other process. Or even in this stage, sometimes you have 2 weeks to complete this thing. Stephanie, how long does it take you to explain your business? If I'm gonna just talk to you,
an elevator ride. Yeah,
an elevator ride,
elevator
right?
pitch. Yeah, there we go.
So basically, we're talking about 30 seconds, 1 minute to say it, right? Let's add.
I mean, I can't really say hello in 30 seconds, but I get your point. I get your
right?
point.
Let's say 30 minutes, right? Let's say 30 minutes. It's never going to take you 2 to 4 weeks to explain your business.
No.
Right? But even more than that, when is the last time that you had 2 to 4 weeks to do anything as a business owner? I don't have more than 2 hours to do a task, right? That's like if I want to block something on my schedule, that's all that I have. I never have 2 to 4 weeks that are clear on my schedule for a project. I have to cram things on top of fires and on top of different things. That's part of being in business, right? So like, how is this logical? Like, why do we keep why do we tell our clients 2 to 4 weeks? The reason is because usually they don't do it. So we just decide to give them more time instead of asking why. Why don't they do it? What is the real reason for that?
The fact of the matter is, I'm going to do it 10 minutes before it needs to be delivered anyway. So you might as well not give me that much leeway.
Right. But even if you 10 minutes before what? Before 2 or before 4 weeks? Before 3 weeks? Before 1 week?
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's
not clear. Man, the more unclear we are, the more frustrating it is for everybody.
Exactly. Clarity is the king of processes. You know, if you want to build a good process,
pretty good line. Clarity is the king of processes.
So if you want to, so what we tell, what we preach for, and what we used to do in our agency is 2 days and a weekend. And the reason why we say 2 days and a weekend is because it gets the client thinking when. And this means that they're going to have it's going to encourage them to open their calendar and try to find, when am I actually going to do this on my calendar? When do I have time in the next 2 days or over the weekend to complete this task that should take me 2 hours, right? Not 2 to 4 weeks.
I love that, including weekdays and a weekend, because that way there's no like, well, I'm too busy. Okay, well then you got the weekend.
On the weekend.
Yeah.
But really, most of us as business owners, we know that the weekdays is usually for the fires, right? The day-to-day operations, the service delivery, and Saturday or the Sunday, we have like 1 week, 1 day during the week, or a few hours on the weekend that is dedicated to working on the business. So our clients are not different than us. They are also running a business. They need to deal with clients throughout the day. The weekend or the evenings is the only quiet time you get as a business owner, right?
Yep.
So defining it like that will give them the ability to do it over the weekend, but it's also going to tell them that I need to hurry up. I need to find when am I going to do that. And even more than that, what we would recommend is after the 2 days, you reach out to them and say, is it done? Are you going to use the weekend? Are we starting on Monday? What's up? So you don't wait for the deadline to arrive to follow up. You want to create that accountability that there is that there are repercussions, even though you're probably going to tell them, sure, here are 2 more days, but you want to create that sense of urgency within them that something needs to happen, and it's up to you. It's on your table now. When are you going to do it?
Yeah, I love that. It really puts it. It's giving those constraints so that it can be like, so that they can get their arms around it, and we can set reasonable expectations for ourselves and for them, like, so we can expect something from them and they know what they're expected to do for us and all of that good stuff. Okay, so what's next? Do they actually do it, Vito? Does it actually work?
It does. It does. I would even say that, as I said, 82% say it's hard. 86% that do it like this say it's easy.
Huh.
So
you and your percentages.
We flipped it, Stephanie. So what used to be the hardest thing within the project is literally become the easiest part of the project, because it really is not that complex. Every business owner is capable of talking about their business, or else the business would fail long before they reach the stage of building a website. You have to articulate what you're doing. You have to put this into words. But the tools that we're giving our clients to actually articulate that is like you were putting like duct tape on their mouth and expecting them to say it. Tell me what you're gonna do over the next 2 to 4 weeks, right? So we just need to enable them, and every business owner can talk about their business. We love talking about their business. That's usually the thing we love to do most.
And when we empower them to do these things and to do them well, then that people like that feeling too. Nobody wants to feel that frustration and that stress of like having something hanging over them that they don't actually know how to deliver on. Exactly. Do you have trouble getting your clients to deliver imagery as well? Yes. Imagery that's of decent enough quality to use? Yeah.
Yes, that's a common issue. With images, you would want to get what you would want to get what you can. You wouldn't expect the client to do the search on Shutterstock or anything like that, because it's out of their reality, and everything that is out of the client's reality, we try to consume ourselves from our side, because then it's going to make the process pleasant for everyone. Not just for the client. It's going to be a lot nicer for us if I can control the design and choose the imagery. So I would give them the option to give me what they want, what they have, and then we would have the hard conversation that these are all portrait images. We can't use it anywhere, right?
Right.
Or this is like a 5 kilobyte image.
Right.
We can't even use it for a thumbnail. It's not even big enough for an icon. Or the opposite, like this is like too much or whatever. In a lot of cases, we sent a photographer to the premises. We actually, people will appreciate and they will be more accepting of paying for a photographer than paying for a copywriter, for example. They believe that there is more value in imagery than there is in writing content, even though, I learned over the years that it's not true. A good copywriter can really transform the business. But when we're working with small, even medium-sized businesses, that's what you will find. They don't see the value in hiring a copywriter. But getting a photographer and posing for a photographer and taking pictures of their workspace, it's nice. Or taking pictures of the product. So we use that a lot.
I find people think they're photographers too.
Maybe if they are photographers and they're providing images.
No, they just have an iPhone or whatever. They just think they are, just like they think they're writers. And in all honesty, a lot of them aren't writers. That's where I've been struggling more and more, even getting clients to submit copy anyway, because it's just not done well, and it doesn't get them where they need to go because it doesn't have keyword research. It doesn't have all the other marketing language and things like that.
So, but I do believe that there is a place for all of these things. If the result or the goal of the platform is to get a working website to present the business and so on, and really most clients are not aware of an SEO strategy when you're first starting the project. That's definitely a great upsell for them later on. And like I mentioned before, the initial project is just the stepping stone for other stuff that you would do with the client. It's never the end goal. So I would suggest get this out of the way as quickly as possible. Use this as the benchmark of showing how organized you are, how structured you are with your processes, because the goal is not in the first project. The goal is with maintaining the client for years to come, and then bringing in a copywriter to improve the copy on top of it. And it's going to be a lot nicer for the copywriter to work with something, first of all. Then you can send a photographer if you want, if the iPhone stuff is really bad. Then you can create landing pages and lead magnets and booking forms and start adding features to the website. I never stopped building my website. It's always being built.
Oh, by a show of hands, whose website is done?
It's never,
none.
It's never done. Yeah. And this is a good thing, because it means the business is growing, it's evolving, you're evolving with it,
It also, we understand how hard it is to work on our own stuff, and we should have empathy for our clients because it's hard for them to do it too. But on this copywriting business, I think part of the issue is, like you said, people are hesitant to pay, and to have it done really well can be expensive. It can pay dividends, but it can be expensive. So if we need to have a lower entry point, some things that I have found helpful are to get content from the client and then have it professionally edited.
Right.
Or maybe do some keyword research ahead of time and give them some phrases that they can include in it. So have these little sort of components of the copywriting. And, I don't know if you know, did you know that we have copywriting at Focus WP now?
You
can get it. And with your subscription, you can get copywriting as well, just ad hoc, just as needed. So it won't be a big flat fee to write a whole website. It's just the bits that you need, which would work perfectly with a system like Adareem, because then you could just send that right to your Focus WP team and let them plug in those holes without having to really involve the client, other than maybe some brief interview stuff. Yeah.
And I would even say that, and this is something that we used to do a lot at the agency. So you get the content from the client, and as you're saying, not always it's going to be spot on or perfect, but you kind of like adapt it a little bit. So really, it depends on the budgets on the scale of projects that you're working in. During the later years of the agency, we would recommend hiring a copywriter from the beginning, just to include the SEO and all of that. But even with a copywriter, if you give them the structure, it will make their life a lot easier. It will make your life a lot easier. You already know. So people say, how can I design the page without having the copy? But if you close your eyes and you picture a web page, it looks the same. It always looks the same. So mock it up and then get the copywriter in there to fill in the blanks, really. So for the later years, copywriter was something that we used regularly. At the beginning, I just took the client's information and just put it as is, which in some cases doesn't look awesome. But then in the middle kind of range, what we used to do is we just took the copy and we fixed it up. We just fixed it up a little bit, changed it here, changed it there. I read it, because it really helps you design around it. If you can read the copy and see that, okay, here we need a picture of a product that I don't have. Let's reach out to the client. A picture of this product. So there's really stages to all of those things. But really, I would say that you would want to consider that the design is an ongoing. A relationship with the client is something that you want to nurture for years, not for the 3-4 weeks of the project.
Right. I totally agree. We want to get that sweet recurring revenue coming in where we can too.
Exactly.
Keep them going. And that's another option, speaking of ongoing, is to phase out the project. Kind of like you were saying before a little bit, like start with this and then we go back and enhance and improve it later. And sometimes that's an easier sell because the client then has a more tangible idea of what we're trying to accomplish and what they're getting. And it usually costs more anyway, so everybody wins.
We used to do that almost for every project. The way that we structure this is that this was my mechanism of battling scope creep. Every time we identified scope creep, we tagged the request as a future task, basically adding this to a backlog of stuff that we can do. And as soon as the website is launched and you have a conversation and say, all right, we already have a list of stuff that you asked for. What do you want to do next?
Oh, that's great. I love that one. Did you guys get that tip? Save a list while they're talking about stuff that's outside of scope and then just bring it back later.
Let me show you, if we're already on the share screen thing, I'll show you how we do it now with Atarim. So for example, they would go to here and say, on this part, on this form area, we actually need a 6-page quotation form that has 1,500
questions.
Questions. Right?
No big deal, right?
Yeah, nobody. Can you do it? It's gonna be 5 minutes. Come on. All right. So this straight away we go into here and we're just gonna mark this guy. I'm just gonna refresh this thing. So we get the box. And as you're facing this task, you just add this as a future task. You see, it's already loading this up for me.
Yeah.
Tag. Then cool. You already have a list. It's going to generate a list for you in your Atarim dashboard.
I love that. So a little birdie told me you got a sale going on.
Yes. So it's our birthday. I forgot to mention that it's our second birthday. We started. So as you kind of understand, I started as a freelancer. Went to an agency, built an agency here in London. And then we created this for ourselves. So literally 2 years ago, I was doing client work. I was doing about 8 websites per month with clients on top of about 60 ongoing clients that were working with us.
I'm here to say 8 websites a month, I might die. That's a lot.
We had 12 guys though.
Oh, well, that helps.
We had a team of 12 that were working on the different projects and supporting the clients and care plans and so on. And with this, we created this for us because all of these problems happened to us as they happen to everyone in the industry. 2 years ago, I was building websites. Now we have 5,500 freelancers and agencies that are using this product with 135,000 clients. Happy second birthday or anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary. I can't believe that you've got 5,500 users. That's impressive, Vito.
Thank you.
In just 2 years. So what's the special celebration?
So for the birthday, we created really an insane package. And what I tried to create is like a full-on resource for web agencies and freelancers to not only get to know our platform, but also to create a bundle that will help everyone grow their agency in different aspects. So our platform is collaboration and communications internally within the team, as well as, of course, with the clients, as we saw right now. But then we also have, can I share, is that okay if I share my screen? I do a quick run through.
Is that, okay.
Right, I think I'm going to start shouting here. Hey everyone, it's our second birthday.
Shouting.
So, like our platform. So, right, $3,380 for $1. That's the birthday celebration deal. And what we're doing is we kind of, on top of our product for the first 30 days, you're going to get our system to work on this with 10 clients. More than 120 different features, including the urgency. And, I'm not going to go through all of this, but there's a huge list of features that our platform allows you to save time, collaborate with clients, and so on. So you're going to get this for 10 websites with your clients, 10 gigabytes in your seat for $1. But Stephanie, you like it when I do, but there's more, right?
Oh, wait, I'm still stuck on wondering if you said, did you say gigabytes? Because I might have to start calling it that. Gigabytes.
Yeah.
We call them gigabytes.
Okay.
But I like gigabytes.
Yeah.
What?
You say gigabytes.
Yeah. Who? Gigabytes. Okay. I didn't hear a thing after that. My brain was like.
GB. No, wouldn't you say like 10 GB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we would pronounce it gigabytes. But anyway, let's not start talking about GIFs and GIFs either.
Right. There's a few of them here as well running around.
Okay.
But basically, we partnered up with a bunch of companies, awesome companies that gave away great stuff for our celebration. So first of all, you're getting 3 websites for free for a year with wpengine.
Wow.
Which is insane. They never did anything like that. And you're never going to find anything like this anywhere else. 3 websites for a full year. And then it's up to you. You want to stay? Awesome. You want to opt out? Fine. That's also cool. No obligations whatsoever. Use 3 websites. I would even suggest take this, use it for 3 client websites and take the profit, right? Take the money yourself for the hosting.
Take the money.
Generate more leads. So this is around the hosting, the infrastructure. So we're going to help you with the builds and the collaboration. WPengine is going to help you to host the websites. My Web Audit is going to help you generate more leads, close more deals. This is an insane system for.
I'm a big fan of My Web Audit.
I know.
I love Cliff. Yeah.
Yes. So they're giving away 4 months for free to use the system. And as you know, like I've been using this myself, and like with 4 months you can make so much money with this system in 4 months that it's crazy. We have Spotlight, which is an awesome Instagram feed.
I don't know this one. Nice.
This is a really cool, a really cool way of creating ongoing content on the website, because most clients are not going to maintain a blog, right? And then the website just becomes a monument of itself. But it's really easy for them to maintain an Instagram account. So instead of having the grid for the blog, just drop in this guy and boom, you have recurring content. The website is always looking up to date. It's cool.
Nice.
Christina Romero, she's the queen of care plans, right?
She's the goat.
I learned I learned how to run our care plans from her. We reached,
me too.
Right? Really?
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
did. Yeah, I started a whole business on it.
Yeah.
That's how Focus WP started. Yeah.
Awesome. So you can see the return, obviously. We made 5 figures in revenue per month from this course, and she's giving it away for $25 instead of $100. Termageddon, also friends of the system of the right? How do
I
you say
love
that?
those guys too. Man, this is like, you got all my buddies in here.
Yeah, all the
Hans and
resources.
Donata. Yeah.
So they have their like in some other promotions they gave away on our summit, for example, they gave away one set of policies that the agencies can explore and have it for themselves. But here they gave 2 sets of policies for free. And again, sell it, take the money, and run. Right?
Yeah.
Social media. So now, not only that you can have the generate recurrent revenue for Christina, generate recurrent revenue from privacy policies, which is an amazing program that they have on how you can use privacy policies to generate recurrent revenue. socialb will allow you to do that with social media. So they kind of have a service similar to what you're offering, Stephanie, only on the social media management side. Completely white label. If your clients are asking for social media, you just sign up here. You get 1 month for free, first of all, to check it out. And then you have just an additional service to offer. You take the margins, and they do the work. Beth also giving away her project.
Oh, nice. Tools. Beth just spoke in the group last week or the week before. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Her course is great.
I know, and because she's recommending our system.
Shameless.
But really, like, I met Beth after she reached out to me about a year ago, and she told me that she's including us in every presentation that she's talking about, and it's like, let's get on the call. Each other. And so we became friends through that. And really an amazing, we start as designers usually, or developers in getting into this game.
Yeah.
We forget that we need to be project managers more than anything. Mm-hmm. So this is going to give you the skills and knowledge that you need in order for that, as well as the templates, the guides, everything to run a project properly. Mm-hmm. Then Mo from FlixFrame is giving away 24 Canva templates for mockups and all kinds of ways to showcase your designs and your projects within your website and on social media. So just plug and play.
You know what I have used Canva for is, because I'm a Adobe girl, but I've had some like social media templates created in Canva. Right. I just create a Canva account with a client with like a generic email, and then I turn it over to the client, and then they can just go and change the text and export the thing. So if you have like mockups or templates and things like that in here, that's a great resource for clients because they can access it and edit it for free.
Yeah, I love Canva, really. I'm also, I've been using Photoshop for like 15 years now. But recently we started using Canva under Mo's recommendation, and it's just so nice and simple. They just get
it's come a long way for sure.
Yeah. We got the premium account there. So anyway, you don't need to premium account. This is for completely free. 24 Canva templates given away by Maud. She has an incredible design course, really, that she helped us with our rebrand as well. So she's a good friend of ours as well.
You're saying, is it More Cohen? Is that who that is?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Awesome. Man, this is a party in here.
Right? But the party is just starting this month.
But wait,
more coming. Yeah,
there's more.
So after running this, I had kind of a lot of other partners reaching out to me and said, "What can we do? What can we do?" And I said, "All right, this is already too much. $3,500 worth of stuff for $1. So let's make it a year-long party." And so for the rest of the year, we're gonna keep giving away the same level of awesome stuff for every single month for the people that join us right now. And I can't really talk about some of the stuff that we're preparing here, but you can see from the level of content that we have here and the companies that we're working with, it's only going to get bigger.
Good people's
the rest of the year. Yeah. So
I don't know. We might have to get a little Focus WP up in there, V.
Yeah, let's do it. There's 12 months of stuff to share with our users.
I love it.
So yeah, just join us. $1. It's a no-brainer, really.
That is pretty good. And then what does it go to for the next month after that, though? I mean, you get all that stuff with the $1, and then it's $50 a month. Is that your that's the same price, right? That's the same price as it's been?
Yeah, the standard price of our base plan, the 10 websites. But of course, you get to keep everything. You get to keep everything anyway, whether you stay with us or not. We know that you're gonna enjoy it, so you're gonna want to stay. So that's basically, and you can see. I don't know why I don't have this, but we have our friend Andrew here.
Oh, there's Andrew.
That dropped from 3 weeks projects to 3 days in his web design company.
Nice,
really awesome stuff. Yeah,
love it. This has been fun, my friend. It's always good hanging out in front of a bunch of other people.
Creepy girlfriend frame that it stopped here.
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna make a meme out of that one. Look at you. You do look really intense. I always get the worst automatic thumbnails on YouTube. Oh, it's terrible. It's like it does it to me on purpose.
Yeah, they do it on purpose. They find it. They look for it.
Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, hit us with a like. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. We're going to be doing more stuff going live on YouTube. It's been typically just in the group now, but if you subscribe on the YouTube channel, you'll get notified whenever we're going to have some cool things. I hope that this was useful and you can hang on to some of those tips about getting content, getting it easier. Again, it's the system behind it that matters. It's the technique that you're using. But once you get that going, you can then scale up your business, and then it really becomes important to have an awesome tool like Adareem to crush things out and to just really move a lot more efficiently. Oh, John signed up. John says done and done. John, I'm so glad you were here with us today. I feel like it was the three of us hanging out. So anyhow, I hope this was useful to you guys. Thanks so much. We will see you all on the next webinar. Vito will be around. He's always here. He can't stay away. So we'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.